What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Just wanted to do a really quick video, as I just got done with one of my runs. As yes, I know, especially those that are actual personal friends of mine, like Mr. Cyber Coyote. You guys are going to be going, the fuck? You're running now? The hell? Yeah. I'm trying to get into conditioning for, of course, law enforcement, that kind of stuff, as, of course, my application isn't to go into their jail system. I have to go through all their training and all that crap, kind of like the Marine Corps. And so, went up, I've been, walking around, and went up to the high school. For all of you guys that know, I got expelled from that high school, so kind of weird being back on that premise, at least on their track. But yeah, I walked around for a while to get my legs going, as I'd been asleep all day, besides, of course, for a few hours I had work today. But yeah, I came home and passed out. So I'm actually surprised I even made it to work. My alarm actually woke me up, which, again, very surprising, because usually I don't wake up from my alarms, especially after staying up all night. You can blame Coyote for that. But yeah, so woke up at like 9 and got up and went, fuck it, I need to go and do some running. So ended up going in up to the high school, like I said, used their track and did a 300-meter run, which is 100-meter less of what I need to be doing, as kind of sucks. But I haven't ran since I was going into the Marine Corps, and that was back 2019, 2020, one of those years. So it's been a few years since I've actually got out and ran for fun. But yeah, I ended up doing a 300-meter run today, and I'm not timing it or anything. I'm just, like I said, doing some conditioning work, getting back into the mindset of running for fun. But yeah, no, I actually, the reason why I wanted to record this video is simply to say sorry. I, of course, between work and then passing the hell out when I got home, I completely and utterly forgot to do my work for YouTube yesterday. And apparently, unlike what I'm thinking, I cannot work while sleeping. So I went to go check how the second episode of Assassin's Creed was doing, and it's still as a draft on YouTube, as I was gonna go and do a thumbnail and all that today after work, but again, that didn't happen. So yeah, kind of a accidental deal that happened there. So you guys will be getting video, or this video, and Assassin's Creed today, and then you'll also get your Assassin's Creed tomorrow. So you guys are going to get 2 days back to back of Assassin's Creed, as an apology, as I completely and utterly fucked that up today, or yesterday, as it's now 1 o'clock in the morning and I feel like shit. My legs hurt. I'm just fucking in bad shape, and it sucks. But yeah, so you guys will be doing that. Hopefully you guys are going to like how I do the thumbnails for Assassin's Creed. A little bit different than I normally do. I ended up the other day on Assassin's Creed just going and grabbing actual pictures of the actual characters, as I think they'll do better. I don't know, but I've been doing really bad at getting, good pictures while the actual cutscenes are going on, because I've been really invested in the actual stories or the storyline and cutscenes and all that, which is weird for me because usually in games, you know me, I tend to cut through all the dialogue. But with Assassin's Creed, how they do the story bullshit, they do it really well, and so I've not been cutting over them and been trying to get thumbnails through those, scenes. But I've forgotten a few times to get thumbnails throughout the recording, so I have kind of a backlog now of just some really generic pictures I've taken of the two characters. So you guys will be seeing them. I think this episode that you guys are going to see today are going to be using one of the fairly generic just character pictures that I've taken. So it is what it is. But yeah, expect next week to see some content that is a little bit out of my ordinary. I'm going to try, and the key word there is try, to do some reaction videos. Either of like TikTok or something, my liked TikToks or something. I don't know. Something different, but just expect that the channel kind of goes into a testing bed phase going forward, probably for a month or two, maybe. I don't know how long I'm gonna do this kind of trial period, but it'll be something interesting. You guys will start seeing some more reaction-y type of videos, some reaction videos, that kind of stuff. Basically, my Tuesday and Thursday, there we go, that's the day, are going to be just kind of random upload days. So it may be farming sim, it may be reaction videos, it may just be a vlog like these, where I'm walking around at night and just kind of, taking 10-15 minutes to, just kind of sit here and chat with you guys and, tell you how my running is going. And hopefully here soon I'll not forget my watch, as I grabbed it this morning, or when I woke up, not this morning, but when I woke up and went to go put it on, just to realize it had died. So kind of weird how a smartwatch, when you're not wearing it, will still die, but it's all battery, kind of like your phone. If you're using it, if you're not using it, still using battery to display, the time and that kind of shit. So yeah, anyway, also may end up doing some VR chat content, maybe with Coyote. I'm gonna have to pass that idea by him, as yesterday, that's exactly what the hell I was doing up all night, was I was on VR chat with him, just kind of hanging out, as it had been a while since I've done anything with him. And the 4th of July I was supposed to hang out with him, but we never got in contact with each other, so that didn't happen. So it's kind of nice to be able to use VR chat, even though, we're on Discord and shit talking, but to be able to actually kind of dick around with each other in VR chat is also pretty cool. Yeah, so VR chat might come back in some stage. I don't know if I'm going to do horror type of content with VR chat, just simply because I'm not using my actual headset, as screw that idea. That's a lot of space, and where I do it at night, I don't want to be thumping around upstairs, because doing that will wake my parents. I'd much rather not have a very pissed off Irish woman coming upstairs and yelling at me. So that's scary. But yeah, you guys will have to definitely tell me how you guys like this testing bed or this testing phase for the YouTube channel. Tell me what you guys think about the idea of doing some reaction shit via TikTok, music, just kind of whatever. I might actually, as I'm going into law enforcement, I may honestly start doing some like police breakdowns, that kind of stuff, kind of like what Donut Operator does, but as a kind of counterpart of him, as he has more of law enforcement background. So for me, it's going to be more of a civilian and what it looks like from a civilian standpoint of how shit's being done. But a lot of you guys might go, well, you were a police officer within FiveM for multiple years. That is true, but that doesn't have the same hold as actual law enforcement, as it's completely different. As a lot of our law enforcement stuff was really chillax, and there was a lot of shit that we did that you wouldn't do in real life. So there's a lot more repercussions in real life than what we had in FiveM. On top of that as well, I'm gonna be really crystal clear with you guys here on YouTube as well. If you're not part of the Discord for DCRP, I did put a final warning to those people, and you guys probably saw the call to action video that I posted super early on, I believe it was Tuesday or even Wednesday morning, one of those two. But that is still something that is super out there, but I did put a warning out saying that if we are not going to be active within, a timely fashion, I'm going to give it this month. And if it's not, back to being active and we're doing stuff, that I was going to actually step away from DCRP. Something I don't want to do. It's actually something that if I were to step away from DCRP, I may try to jump into a smaller community and, kind of work up their chain of command, or even just step into a chain of command position, kind of wherever they want to put me with my experience and with all my documentation. It's up to them. That also may be something where I don't go into doing more roleplay, as originally when I started DC with, of course, Hannah and all of them, that was, and what I was saying, excuse the watering system, there we go, no longer pissing and actually doing its job. But that was actually kind of the whole plan, was DCRP was my last community that I would ever be in. But role playing and actually getting back into the roleplay scene actually has been really nice for me. It gave me something else to do besides, of course, farming sim, Reforger, and all that. But I don't want to go into a big community. A lot of the communities that I were a part of back in the day, they are no longer doing very well. So I'd much rather, help a community grow and actually grow with them, grow my channel with them, and do all that. So kind of like what I'm doing with all the Reforger content and joining squadrons and all that. I want to grow with them. So yeah, I don't know what the future is when it comes to FiveM content, if it's actually going to come back fully, if it's not, and if it does, I will be doing a little bit more content for DCRP on YouTube. So for all of you guys that came for FiveM content, you guys are going to be happy to hear that it may actually come back again if DCRP gets active again, and that will just fall on to the other members of the community. So anyway, with all of that said, I am going to get home and get to bed because I have another really early morning and I gotta actually fix my sleep schedule, as this weekend I will not be around, as I'll be more than likely doing some content with my brother working on his truck, which will be actually really fun. But that is near here or now. So anyway, I appreciate you guys, like always, hanging out and listening to me ramble for 15 minutes. And I appreciate you guys actually tuning into these little vlogs, as I know they are super different compared to my regular content, as they are very raw, they are very real, as I don't edit any of this stuff. What you guys see is what I recorded. There is no bullshit, there's no cutting, there's no editing half the time, or not even half the time, all the time. There's not even a ending. So it's kind of like a goddamn, what is that? It's like a dream. But anyway, with all this being said, this bank is busy. Anyway, take care, y'all. Now see you whatever I say. Yeah, fever dream. That's what this is.